I'm Captain Phedre Spitfire, and I'm here to tell you some more shit you need to know. Let's start out with what I had mentioned previously about how to find a crew that best suits you. For those of you who have been brought in by a captain or another crew member, this part might not be so interesting for you. But for those of you who have joined us because of our website or because you've seen us at fair a couple of times and just want to come hang out with us because we're awesome, this is more information for you. So there's a couple of ways that you can gain information about the crews. Of course, there's the website. There should be a breakdown of all the crews. If you click on our flags, most of the captains have provided some information for you about what their crews are about, who they're comprised of, and really what their vibe is for fair. If you find a crew there that you absolutely feel like, I will fit in here, I love this place, this sounds like a great idea, contact one of the admirals or the PK, and he can get you in touch with that captain. And you guys can either set up a time to meet before fair and get to know each other, or you can set up a way to meet at fair, and go from there. If you don't find anybody that really speaks to you through the website, I mean, it's a paragraph or two, how could you really know who you want to join? Just come to fair. Come to fair and hang out with all the different crews and find one you like and ask if you can join. Most of us, if we like you, we will be more than happy to let you join. We love cool people and we love hanging out with cool people. And you're pretty cool if you already want to join us. So, there's that. You got that going for you. Other than that, I just say, whatever crew has the experience that you're looking for, hang out with them. I know with my crew, I have a whole bunch of different people in it. People who don't drink, people who don't smoke, people who do drink, people who do smoke, people who are there to get just completely shit-canned, and people who are there to watch other people get shit-canned and laugh at them. So it's not like one person defines an entire crew. Really hanging out with them in their campsite is the absolute best way to get to know somebody and get to know if you want to be a part of their crew. Now, if you do join a crew and find out that, maybe this isn't the best suit for you or the best fit for you, or that maybe you have an issue with somebody in the crew and it would just be better if you weren't there, you are more than welcome to find a new crew. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Most captains, if you don't want to be there, are going to let you go because, this is about having fun. And if you don't want to be somewhere, you shouldn't be there. And we'll find a better fit for you. Now, that being said, the next thing that I want to go into is garb. Clearly, that's why I'm dressed up today, unlike I was last time. So, nobody expects you to have a kick-ass costume, even in your first 2 or 3 years, much less your very first year. Costumes take time to build. For the most part, they're pretty expensive. And you build it piece by piece, year by year, until you have what you want, but nobody is always 100% satisfied with their costume. We are always adding on, we're always building, we're always changing our look. So for the first year, we give everybody a pass. If you want to come in garb, yes, absolutely. Come in garb. We support it. It doesn't even have to be pirate garb. You can always add a hat to something and all of a sudden you're a pirate. I know on my crew I have a pirate demon, a pirate wizard, a pirate fairy, because those are the costumes that they'd already had when they were going to fair, or that's just what they wanted to be. And I support that. If you want to be something that's other than a pirate, like a ninja, we have a crew for that. We have the ninja pirates. If you are more into steampunk, we have a steampunk crew. Really, there is no limit to what you can do with your garb that will stop you from being a part of our crew. We are inclusive of everyone, and we want you to have a good time. So if you want to be Robin Hood, you can be Robin Hood, and we'll just put a pirate hat on you, and you're good to go. For girls, it's a lot easier to get garb for fair. Pretty much any skirt or black set of pants that are tight, and a corset from your local lingerie store, and bam, you're a pirate wench. Pretty easy. For guys, it's even easier. A loose pair of cropped black pants, and you go shirtless with a red sash around your waist, bam, pirate. you're good to go. But it's really up to you, that first year, whether you want to try to go in garb or not. I know I tried to my first year, and I probably looked like a fucking imbecile. It was an awful costume. I mean, it was real bad. I didn't even have any shoes to go with it, and I didn't want to be the person in flip-flops. So I went barefoot, which turns out not a great idea at fair. For the most part, you can do it if you're used to going barefoot outside. If you're not, there are rocks, there's straw, there's stickers, there's broken glass a couple of times I've seen, even though glass isn't allowed in fair, but, drunken assholes. So that's ill-advised. We don't care if you have flip-flops, if you're wearing, Keds, if you're wearing, in any kind of shoe that's not period, that's fine. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to have a good time. You can be as dressed up or as dressed down as you want to be. It's really up to you about what kind of costume you want to build. Nobody's going to tell you what you can or can't wear. Because we want you to be comfortable. We want you to have fun, so we're not going to rain on your parade. Now, that being said, there's another topic that I want to discuss briefly, and that's money. Like I said, costume pieces cost a lot of money. And if you don't have money to spare, it's a good idea to figure out a budget of what you can spend and pretty much take that out in cash. And then leave your credit cards and debit cards at camp and don't take them into fair with you. Because you can get into trouble. I know I've gotten into trouble and bought a $400 corset that I didn't really need to buy, but it was pretty. So, I had my credit card on me and bam, there we go, in debt for a couple of months. So what my husband and I have started doing is we know how much we can spend, we take that out in cash, and we bring that into fair with us. Everybody there takes cash. Some people in the shops, they'll take Visa cards, MasterCards, things like that for the big purchases. But for the food vendors, you have to have cash for them. They don't take credit cards, or at least they didn't in the previous years. So you have to have at least some cash on you. And be prepared for that. I'd say that in fair, if you want a couple of drinks and some food throughout the day, you could spend anywhere between $10 and $40 to get yourself fed and boozed up. That being said, we do have some ways of sneaking our own alcohol into fair. Ask us about it. Flasks are great. Things like that, to where you can just buy sodas and then spike your own soda for you. Little tricks like that, basically. But if you do want to have lunch in fair, then you are going to need to bring money. There's plenty of different food vendors. You can get anything from hamburgers to turkey legs to, meat on a stick, because, who doesn't love meat on a stick? The other thing to think about is contacting a crew before you come if you want to be fed during fair and you don't have the supplies to feed yourself. Most people will, bring extra food for you for $10, $15 for the whole weekend. It's not really that big of a deal. But they need to know that they need to feed another mouth, The other thing you can do is bring your own food and then use the grills and skillets and pots and pans from other crews to cook your food after they've eaten, which I know my crew will always let people do if they need to borrow cooking supplies, and I know a lot of other crews will do the same. I don't know why they wouldn't, but, people are weird. So those are some things to keep in mind, because I know my first year, I was with the drunk tank, and what I knew was going to happen was that I'd be camping out and I would be drunk. Nobody told me anything about food, so I had to go around to camps begging to say, do you have any extra food? Can I please have breakfast? How am I going to get dinner? I have no idea. Which isn't fun, but most people will have some food left over if you just absolutely can't, bring your own food, or have money, or contact somebody in advance. The other thing that you need to think about is you do need cash to get in, you need to pay for parking, and you need to pay for your tickets. You can buy tickets online before you come, and you can buy the camping pass at the gate. Usually it's about $20 per car. So if you can carpool with somebody to get there, it's cheaper for everybody involved. And that's pretty much the shit you need to know this time around. I'll have some more for you later. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.